Sorry I'm late. I'm eating cookies. They're not cookies, they're graham crackers. But, bunny graham crackers. They're pretty good. It's a cute little bunny. And my cookie fix. Addiction to gluten. Or addiction to wheat. Addiction to something. See if I can fire up some dopamine levels, my brain, some serotonin. Alright, winter age. It is winter on the northern hemisphere. And boy do I feel it. It is also Friday. We have a weekday ending, the end of the weekday. Tomorrow's the weekend. I don't know. I woke up at time. I just sat there in bed. I didn't move. How are you guys doing this morning? Okay. It's fine. I can't comment on half of my videos anyways. Or half the videos that I watch. That is an interesting. Coffee tastes interesting. I don't know if I put too much in. I don't know. Alright, so who am I? You're wondering if this is your first time viewing in. I'm your Lady Caren on your Wise One channel. I'm striving towards creating a business where we can recycle and upcycle. That's not easy when you are crazy in the most interesting way. I do have attention deficit disorder, so most of these vlogs for In the Morning, Coffee with Caren, is just a lot of me, we'll coin it rambling. Well, not coin it. Rambling's been coined. We'll call it rambling. I ramble. It's a lot of background noise. It's fun. I've started doing my tarot readings in the morning for you guys. Nobody's asked me anything. That's perfectly acceptable. I don't have experience reading for other people, and the camera makes me nervous, so I've been reading the book when I do my reading. It's a one-card reading. It's free in the morning with my Coffee with Caren. But I'm glad you could join me. It's exciting. I'm trying to learn as a person who hasn't been successful, who's in debt, whose life is hectic from one day to the next. I know that there are other people out there that have had hectic lives and then they became successful. And so I'm trying to log the journey of my success so that you see the small little moments. Because I get those 3 years ago or 10 years ago, I was da 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 da, and now here I am, totally successful. Nobody wants to talk about the stuff that doesn't make them successful. So that's the more the less fun aspect of this vlog, is because I really want to show it. I really want to show, okay, I had bad days, but we keep the goal in mind. We keep striving. It wasn't just a nice ride linearly all the way up to success, to a point of happiness and content and fulfillment, and feeling like if I was no longer here, would it be okay? So yeah, it gets a little more personal than I prefer, but I hope that helps other people on their journey. I mean, it can get really overwhelming, you know, no matter where you come from, no matter what point um, in life that you come from. A lot of people, a lot of people come from different walks of life where things are different and culturally different, and then genetically different. Um, the question is, what are we going to do about it? How do we want to perceive it? Um, yeah, that definitely tastes different. Not bad. It's just, I think I had different coffee yesterday that was in the brew. Um, and I just woke up and put coffee in. I didn't wake up and put coffee in. After I finally got out of bed, I just made the coffee, like with 10 minutes to go, and I just went, wee. I don't know if I made it too strong or what. I love eating. I love food. It's the most fun with doing witchcraft is definitely cooking. Uh, 2, 4, 5. Unless you guys have a question. Today is a nice positive day. We've got something not in reverse. Okay. Today, well, maybe I should look at it before I show you. We have Prudence, 7 of discs. I've pulled this card out a few times. So my discs are in the back. 10 discs. Close, close. 7 of discs. So it's one of those long divine meanings. Reverse meanings are like this short. Divine meanings are like this short. And symbolisms are usually longer than that. This is the Sacred Tarot deck by Anna Franklin. Like I said, I get nervous when camera. The 8 disc, 7 of disc. There. The 7 of disc indicates that you are not prepared to work for what you want, but think you could take a shortcut, a get-rich-quick scheme that seems too good to be true and is too good to be it seems too good to be true. It is too good to be true. Invest in it and you will lose a considerable amount of money. If you are hoping that big gambling win will change your life, you are in for a big disappointment. These pipe dreams are preventing you from putting time and considerate effort into what really needs to be from success. You may have neglecting a profitable occupation in favor of a mirage that will provide quarrels and earn you criticism. Spiritually, the card warns you that there is no shortcuts to growth and that you should be aware of any person any sex that offers them. You cannot buy it or take a pill. You must earn it. That's my life. This is true. As long as my effort is earning the same amount of outcome, when I just like to get out what I put into it. That's the difference. That's my frustration in life. Yep. Like, I'm not expecting YouTube to be my fortune. I'd love to monetize by YouTube, but what I'm hoping towards is get the business going, is that YouTube would support the business, or YouTube would support the things that I strive for financially, like the books that I write and the things that I do. I don't think you guys would promote the programs that I write, or like if I made a website with JavaScript. But yeah, it's something to be earned. I've seen another YouTuber who's like, I'm going to make it big on YouTube. I'm like, that's great. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, because it's watching the show. And he's like, keeps talking about how he's going to make it big on YouTube. And I don't, and he doesn't have an itch. I don't have an itch either. But I have to wonder. I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm just saying I don't know what it is. That he efforts towards, getting his followers and getting all of his work, and how much work and research that he's done into YouTube. If YouTube is the thing he's going for, I sit there and I wonder and I psychoanalyze, and I did it quietly to myself because there was nobody there at the time to talk about how I psychoanalyze this person. I'm like, how much research does he do? Does he watch all those YouTube creator videos? Is he learning about where his viewers coming from? Is he got his target audience set up there? Because you watch all that stuff, you're like, yay, I'm going to make it on YouTube. And I have to wonder if, like, a lot of times I get into it, I go, okay, but YouTube research, because I'm like, okay, so doing this in order to do that, in order to do that, in order to do that. YouTube, in order to help me, I just want to make a video while I'm sitting there cutting squares. I want to sew my, squares together. I want to show you a pretty quilt. That is all I want to do. I, on the other hand, am not. I've watched YouTubers, these beautiful, several different YouTubers, these beautiful productions, as you sit there and you watch them and you hear the pretty music and you watch the the way they edit. They've got it beautifully edited. They've done all this work. They've done all this work in the back of your head as a fellow YouTuber, but it looks so effortless. It looks so beautiful. It looks so, it's inspirational. Like, I wonder how they do it. Witch of Wonderland. She shows the bloopers, which is cute. Kind of makes me feel more connected, better. The bloopers, like, she's done that shot several times, but she's managed to figure out, and I don't yet know how, because I'm running through different edited programs, and you have to render something. You have to if I do it in a different program, if I film it in a different program, then I have to put it and something that YouTube would recognize. So you have to reformat. That's what it's called. Reformat, and revolutionize, and different programs. I'm trying to think, where did I put that? And when I've started, I spent a good 2 hours looking for my recording. And this is why I don't want to edit. So I've got to learn to edit. I've got to learn how to make the show. I've got to learn how to pick up subscribers, or I've got to figure out how to ship. I've got to figure out and to write it on the stores, such as eBay, and fill out a million questions. It's like, no, I just want to, here's this, I made this, here, take it, sell it. But it's all this research that I have to go and do, and because I don't have college money, I'm like, I'm just going to learn on the internet. So instead of the equivalent of, here's money and you give me your 16 hours of research into a 2-hour class, 16 hours of research a week or a day, or continuously into little segments on a 2-hour class that you could charge people for. I get to do those 16 hours a week research, figuring out how to do it, put it back in together, and then get it to where I want to do. And to me, that's I'm like, all right, that's great that I could do that, but the whole point of all this working from home is this little kid who's literally up my butt, pushing on my little behind. My gluteus maximus goes, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy." I'm like, I want to be there for you. That's the whole point of this. So it's figuring that out, and then figuring out, because I have this little hobby, I have that little hobby. I like martial arts. I love, witchcraft. I love, the coding. No, I don't love coding. You just obsess about coding. Honestly, it's more of an obsession. It's more like you sit there and go, did I do a dot wrong? Did I do semicolon? Is there a cap? Is it cap sensitive? Is it, it's obsessive. Is it my internet connection not uploading the test because I'm learning? Yeah, and I'm just like, but it won't let you go. And I sit there and I go, oh, I have to take care of my debt in order to get money, in order to stay on top of stuff. But I have school stuff for the kids to take care of, and they're in, Girl Scouts. My second grader is in Girl Scouts, and we are selling Girl Scout cookies today. We have the online. We're doing online this year because of COVID-19. We're trying to do it nice and safe so that you don't have to come in contact as much. So, there is a website. I have no idea if it ships outside the country, but I would love to know. I would love to find out and look at the pamphlet again of information that she received. So if you guys are into Girl Scout cookies, come over to your Lady Caren. Your Lady Caren daughter has the best. Watch me now. Princess has the best cookies, because our bakery doesn't have the palm oil workers. Our palm oil doesn't come from. It's a different bakery. There are a couple of different bakeries. Different girls, different troops get their, depending on where they're located, have different bakeries that distribute it. Can you imagine one bakery in the world just sitting there distributing Girl Scout cookies? I mean, it'd be a lucrative business, but it wouldn't do as well if it's only from one location. So different distributors, different bakeries to take the different distributors. I could talk. Come on, I'm telling you. There's no drugs in those cookies. Those cookies are a drug of pure happiness. I'm telling you, if I'm sitting there like, I want happiness and success, Girl Scout cookie is pretty much materialistic. Now there's hoopla over. I think it's more hoopla over Girl Scout cookies than it is. And it goes towards a good cause, where the girls learn lots of stuff in their troop. Like right now, they're learning to budget. They're learning more about budgeting their money, and they're looking at a good cause of how much troop money as a group that they could contribute towards wells and water, different ways of gathering water in Africa, um, Ghana, I think it is. They're looking at, yeah, last night they talked about, because they talked about the water cycle, and they're like, how many gallons do you think you use a day? And I go, I want to go into an RV, and that tank is kind of like a 25-gallon tank, generally, is what I'm seeing on other YouTubers. 25-gallon tank of in the that they have to empty, and then there's gray water, and I'm like, oh, like I have a 25 tank. I think we'd use that just as soon as we hooked up, and one did dishes or cooked a meal or something. That like somehow thinking I'd use up the 25-gallon like tank. And, so I'm trying to teach myself, and then so that I can show the kids how to use less water. Um, yeah, we've been doing that already. But so learning that other places don't have as much water, they learned about the book The Water Princess, how she goes up and does a 5-10 mile hike, I think it was. I didn't catch the most because my sister was here with pictures for my mom, so like showing my mom all these pictures. Um, so it's rather interesting. I was kind of in between two rooms. Um, but yeah, so learning about all that and where their Girl Scout money may go, between it pays for things like their badges and them to be able to do things so that they can learn, so that they can become the next type of leader um, in their community and in their area, and the things that help them. She's doing so much better this year. She's learning. She's getting there. It's been a bit tough. I've watched the way she talks to her sister nowadays. I'm pretty proud of her. Um, but yeah, she has Girl Scout cookies. So selling the Girl Scout cookies goes to a great cause. Goes to Ghana, Uganda. Is it Uganda? Well, I need papers here with me. Um, it's all written on their site. I can look it up. Haha. Okay, let's go in here. They've linked everything under their meeting, so I'm going to get in to that and look it up. They're looking at and figuring out how much money they want to contribute to service projects. Yeah, here we go. The Evening Enjoyable Story, The Water Princess, Ball Links story. Okay, that's the YouTube. Okay. We'll help the girls review what they're donating. Here we go. Let's look at this website. Ryan's Well Water Project. Sustainable Development Goals. Is that it? School Challenge. Ryan's Well, that's one of them. Let's go and look at, what's this one? It's another Ryan's Well. Oh, okay. So, Ghana and northern Uganda. So it's Ghana and northern Uganda. I did hear about Uganda. Okay, so northern Uganda and Ghana. There's one of either one of these two projects where they're dignity through deep wells and washing training, and then water and wash for 9 communities is Ghana. And so they're sitting there, they're considering these things, and they're learning about these things, and they're learning about, because we have currently in our home, we have access to water, clean, fresh water. I still, filter my water because it's, I think, my partner's house, he has well water. No, it's our house. He said it's our house, but he treats it like, I don't know. I don't know. He's hurt. So, I don't know. I'd call it my house. Right out of my house, not my parents' house. There is well water, but we pay for sewage. So it comes in from the well and goes out to the city. It gets cleaned. The well is pretty clean, pretty good, but I mean, I'm not sure about the pipes because it's an old farmhouse. So I still filter. But still, I don't have to walk 10 miles with with a 4-gallon bucket on my head or a pot on my head in order to get water for the day. And I don't have, tubs of water that I have to worry about. So that's pretty well to do. Um, Fresh, clean water. I can bathe. I can cook. I don't have to be concerned too much, about where my water is coming from. We live, close enough to a lake. Uh, uh, there is, I made coffee this morning without a second thought of just turning on the tap. It's that easy. Um, I understand that that's not like that everywhere else in the world. Um, so they want to do that, and they want to be responsible with their troop money to make sure that all their troop needs are taken care of when they do that. Um, so it's kind of fun watching her grow up and get involved in these projects. Be a part of a bigger thing. Uh, you know, Build that connection. And Girl Scout cookies are a big way for them to do that, and they taste good. So it's a good cause. And our particular bakery, is make sure that everything's in order. Check, 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 not child labor. Uh, yeah, and she posted things. She goes, and if everybody tells you, here's our links to our bakery so that you know the facts and you have proof and evidence. Like, oh, okay. But that stuff they sell. They sell themselves. That's the fun part, is that she just goes up to the door. When she was younger, it was like, just go up and just go like this. And we practiced the whole what do you say, but to help her get over that nervousness, I'm like, just hold up the sheet. It sells itself, but you still need to know how much it costs per box, when they come in, all those questions. Here, would you like to get, and then I'm like, here, just hold it up. And then the next couple of houses, I'm like, here, hold it up and say, would you like some Girl Scout cookies? And then I filled in the whole script for her so that she could clearly explain why she's sitting there holding up a sheet. But it does. Anybody sees a Girl Scout in a cute little uniform, selling cookies, it sells itself. It just the adore her face is just absolutely beautiful and so cute. She's got a cute features, perfect, no blemishes. So it's her cuteness that's in here is clearly displayed on her face. Her the purity in her, the brilliance can shine through without having to have to make sure that to advocate, hey, people look at her for what she really is. And also, she's just naturally charismatic and naturally just sweetness and caring. Lately, it hasn't been sweetness. She's been more, active, more, growing into, you know, uh, video games, cleverness, sense of humor has been growing. Her sister is picking up cuteness, and her sister has been trying to peddle cuteness to her parents. Like, yeah, my youngest will sit there and go, please, super cute, you have to play with me. I'm like, are you being super cute to make sure I do? Yes. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's perfectly aware. And I'm like, like, yeah, you don't have to be super cute, but I love it. As much as I love it, you don't have to. That's not how you don't have to manipulate me into, you know, uh, she's, adorable. They're both, I am blessed to have all my kids be super smart. That is a blessing as much as it is a curse to keep up on. Okay, do you have enough to keep yourself involved in your intelligence? It's hard because like when I grew up, you had to learn how to be stupid, and that was not what anybody intended. So I had to relearn how to learn, how to just like get involved and just be you, whether or not anybody likes it. You can't be some norm of don't ask too many questions, don't piss off the teacher. Like the teacher, it's not so much don't piss off the. I had super nice teachers. I was lucky, um, but when you have to figure out is 30 kids getting it, your your information, where I don't know where the last 30 kids, learned things, but I think it came from uh kindergarten, first grade math. I think that's when I started, learning how to tune things out, because it's review, because they've got to figure out here's all these students. Some of them don't know how to count. As I'm sitting here counting past 100, it's not that hard. Like my oldest, I didn't realize how I didn't articulate. Um, yeah, she could count in English. She could count up to 100, if not more, because we would sit there anywhere from like waiting for ramen noodles to count. I'd count out the seconds with her to get to a minute. Oh, now we're on 2 minutes. Just to occupy her while you're waiting for 3 minutes could seem so long. So for her, I just sat there and counted the seconds with her. Oh, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, four. Done. To, so she could count to 60, before she could talk. And so for her, but I was really excited about her learning how to, count up to 10 in Japanese, and Spanish, and all that stuff. I'm like, she can count to 10 in Spanish and French and all this, and Japanese. And I don't know if we had sign language yet, but we were learning up something in sign language. We didn't quite know 10 in sign language yet. But we were learning. We were in the middle of learning. They're like, how far could you count? I'm like, I don't know. It's not because she couldn't count in English. It's because we've counted so far up in English, and she was just, starting to talk, that I had no idea how far up she could go. So it made it sound like she couldn't count in English. Like, no, she can count in English. So that's before kindergarten. And my kids were learning to read before kindergarten. I threw phonics out the thing and just gave them sight words, because between my deaf accent, between being from Michigan, going to Indiana, if you've ever looked at phonics, it is purely intuitive. Plus, we're American and not English. So a bunch of the English words are not all pronounced. Then you have to, you can't look at a word, and then we have every single other language poured into our Americanized English. So I'm like, is it Latin based? Is it Greek based? Is it Japanese? Is that like, how do I pronounce all the vowels? Do I pronounce that T? Do I pronounce the, rendezvous? Do the French? Do I, how do you, like, phonics just kind of like, you have to teach a kid how to be stupid in order to learn phonics. Like, between accents and everything else, purely, it's what I mean, not what I say. I got halfway through teaching them phonics, threw it out the window and started teaching them. They knew phonics and they knew how to read. And the funny part is, like, I knew she knew how to read because She was looking at the Campbell's selection of soups. I'm like, I'm looking for chicken noodle or something. It was on the list. I'm looking for chicken noodle. And they are all the same. There's no picture to indicate. It's all the classics. So it's all the different soups, and I'm looking over at super cheap store brand soups, and she goes, "Is this it?" I was like, "No, that's definitely chicken noodle, but I'm looking for the super cheap." So she picks out. And this is before kindergarten and everything. She's showing me, yeah, chicken noodle soup. I'm like, "Oh, here, look at the next thing on the list." She goes, "Broccoli." I'm like, read that? Like, I know we've been teaching, and it's not like I've seen you, sit there and talk about all your fruits and vegetables. I'm like, yep, broccoli it is. Like, holy crap, you can read. You can read my writing, let alone read. So I had to go through that in school. That was fun. So they had to review. They review a lot, and when I was growing up in the American schools, they still do. And that review kind of drove me nuts. Ren means stagnant. I'm ready to learn new stuff. And I learn differently than other people. For me, it's give me the whole handbook, give me all the information to read, make it all visual, and give me the whole chunk. And then when I'm done with the chunk, I need to go through and make it relevant. So you give me an example of using all the stuff in the handbook, and just go through on that day or the next day, go through it, and what we use I retain. When it comes to math, I have to use a lot of it. So I have to use certain things again and again and again and again and again. So whatever is relevant stays. It stays really well. But if you don't give me all that information all at once, I tend to just sit here and wait 30 years to figure something out. So I might not get it. But I'll sit there and go through it and go through it and go through it. And as a parent, while I'm learning how to do all this, it makes it very difficult. Right now, what I'm having trouble with JavaScript is trying to get through all the, okay, this is how you do. And it's a minute action. And it's this little bit of code by itself. It's minute. Included into a whole script, it makes sense. And right now, I need it to be relevant. And that part comes later. I'm like, I'll just go through it and have it make sense later. But it's difficult, and it's slower for me when it doesn't make sense of, this is how you start a script. This is how this is where you start. This is how, if you're like, I'm going to make a website, this is, this step, this step, this step. They just it looks like they cherry pick something, threw it in there. Okay, do this. This is what this is. Copy this down. Okay. And the copying things down is sort of like how they expect the deaf to learn in school. And just copy things down. It's though. And whether or not you feel like you get it, it's basically what they think they're doing for the hearing children is, here, it's all written on the board. You just copy this down and it's done. So being half deaf in class, whether or not I got it, I just copied things down and didn't. Why I was copying things down, I don't know. Just copy things down. It's like do some busy work so you look like you're important, whether or not you're important. Makes sense. What is this relevant to? So if I'm in the place where it's relevant, I'm sitting there going, I don't know what to do, even though I've been taught it. So I've had to relearn a whole lot of stuff and, go in through and just teach myself. Especially since I don't have the money to have somebody teach me. I had to learn how to learn. My poor kid is like, I already know how to do this. And I don't know what it's for. So she's learning phonics and she's getting reading. She's learning reading, but phonics doesn't make much sense. Bow, bow, live, live. Bear, bear, beer, bear, ear. Oh gosh, yes, it is completely intuitive. It's completely intriguing. You just have to keep through it in order. You just more and more that you read, more that you read to, the more and more that you do, the more they gain. So it's not just structured. It's more here. Let me read to you. Um, that's why the 1,000 books before kindergarten is important. And if my kid would actually let me sit there and read to them, that'd be fantastic. Right now, they're in the stages of do, 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 do. I want to play with stuff. I want to do stuff. I want to, copy what I've just seen. And that's hard for, like pre-kindergarten. Whereas once you get into like kindergarten, first grade, it's all about the written word. It's so heavy on the written word and on instructions. And so it's very interesting. And how does that make me successful in business? I've just spent more rambling hours. Yeah. I'm wondering if I just pick this up just so that I can have somebody to talk to that doesn't judge me. Because you guys don't comment, so I'm sitting there talking to myself. But the truth is, I want to just talk to you guys, so I want to know more from you, and that would be, hey, can you comment more on like what you want on the show? Otherwise, you get me rambling. I don't know if that's a carrot or a stick. You sitting there rambling. Yeah. I don't know. What should we do? Tomorrow is Saturday. It's the 7 o'clock show. Um, let's see. Tomorrow, I may be working from the house. Yeah. We're getting ready for the trip. And I have cleaning and organizing to do. And cookies. One more cookies. So yeah, Girl Scout cookies. If you want Girl Scout cookies, let me know. And I will find out whether or not I can sell them outside of the country. Like, be like, you're out in the middle of Russia? Dude, get yourself some Girl Scout cookies. Stuff sells like crack on here. These are like the biggest, the biggest occasion in the U.S. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it could be U.S. Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts all around the world. But Girl Scout cookies, man, that kind of franchise, if I could get, something that popular for that good, going on my, business. Because I can bake cookies, but, that's to follow up on the Girl Scout cookies, it shouldn't be, I don't think Girl Scout cookies are, I don't think cookies would make my thing popular, even if I did it for a good cause. Yeah, if I could get a product that popular, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. I'd be like, oh, we're doing good. We can do more, do more projects. We can help more people. We can build this castle. We can travel and write and show the kids and help out because I thought about doing precious plastics, they take it and they take plastic bottles from community and we grind it up and we have these cute, adorable little pellets where these are people all over the world. and I want to get involved. Use colored plastics. You grind them up. I just love the whole shredding process. I want a shredder. Desperately want to be involved in shredder, so I know I have to get sponsors. And this is, on top of the writing, on top of the or not JavaScript, but on top of the coding. JavaScript is just one of the codings. On top of, I want to do martial arts. On top of, I want to stay home with the kids. On top of, I want to do YouTube. On top of, I would love this witchcraft. So, yeah, the witch. I would be the witch that's, shreds the plastic. Bring the witch her plastic. The witch wants more plastic, to help out. Because I thought that if I took a percentage of proceeds towards different organizations in my community to help out people that have helped me out when I've been down on my luck. Yeah, hold on just a second. Yeah. Um, Yeah. So I thought, as a way to help out the community and help out people that have helped me, and the way to pay forward has been a very important thing on me, like in the background, like edging me on. Come on, come on, come on. We got to get into a position to help other people, something that actually appreciate. So this organization, would help other people. Um, I'm in poverty, but the people around me, my friends and my family, um, may be on lower income, but you know, they're not in poverty. Like they're not, I don't know, poverty stricken. The first thing you think about is somebody without clean water, with no food or anything like that. But the thing is, I've been, yeah, privileged. Um, I've been cared for. I have a roof over my head. My kids have food in their bellies. We're warm. We've got the heater going on. I've got clean water to make my coffee that I'm obsessed about. I've got somebody who bought me a baby Yoda cup. So it's right now I may be struggling, and that makes, and the funny thing is, I have to get rid of the perception that we're casteized for being poor, and that instead we need to raise ourselves up and raise each other up who are in who aren't in financial health. Because without these wonderful people that have helped me out, and viewers with that don't want it's the fact that I have viewers that I can build up towards monetization, is not just because you're a viewer for me to, oh, I can get monetized, as many viewers as possible that I can get up on top to monetize. No, it's you guys want quality um, videos. You guys want quality shows. You guys want to sit in there quality, and I want quality on here, and I have to go through all my personal life and all my, stuff, and I have to put that someplace and, get into making stuff that you guys would enjoy buying and enjoy using or enjoy, consuming in a healthy way, viewing and being, entertained, and being, content where you can learn. And I have to figure out how to do that. I have to figure out, okay, I actually have value to contribute and to raise up other people. And I'd like to do that with precious plastics. I mean, like, get the plastics out of the landfill, get the plastics out of the ocean, um, use these plastics. I mean, encourage is what, it's funny because if we sit there and we buy self-sustaining, or we buy, as much as possible with less plastics and more, sustainable living, more, reusable stuff, we still have plastics all over the place because it made it a way to have cleaner, mass-produced stuff. Um, so plastic doesn't stop, even if we go through all these 101 ways to reduce plastic, because we have like 1,000 more in the city, behind that. Um, so, yeah, we still need to use ways of taking this plastic that they won't stop producing, reducing that, and using it continuously, recycling it, reusing it, putting it through again. And it's be like, oh, that's so stupid. If anybody's like, oh, we're fine, don't worry about it, it's too overwhelming to actually look at. It starts with one person. I mean, which is, I don't know how else to tell you that we could do it. I mean, it's our responsibility. We have to strive towards it. As stupid as it is to actually do something about it, you sit there and look at the past and those who actually did do something, or those who didn't, and go, why are we so, those who didn't, why are we so in, so much trouble with all this stuff? Why are we, in a place we don't want to be with all this pollution? And then, well, did you really listen to the person who actually did do things towards change? I mean, they've been telling us throughout our lives. Have we been listening? So there's means to go about addressing pollution, addressing too much plastic. And I'd like to get in on it. And it's that belief in myself that I'm learning in order to do these things. So yeah, if I had something like Girl Scout cookies to, figure out how to get you guys to get plastics, sponsor me in precious plastics or these other things, I would be like, yeah, man. But that's, save for the Girl Scouts, the cookies to the Girl Scouts, and I will find my own niche that allows you guys to, help me out while having something that you guys enjoy. Because you're not just viewers. That gets me towards monetization. You guys are actual people, just like I am. It's not you versus me. It's not them versus us. And if you have a sentence where it's them versus us, that's not equality and inclusive. That's division. A house divided will not stand. A house divided will fall. So a planet divided, you gotta wonder, So, yeah, if we work together and we do things, we'll get there. We will definitely get there. I have no doubt of it. Uh, oh, yeah, we should wrap this video up. Let me know in your comments if you want cookies and if you want me to look up whether or not we can sell it outside of the United States. Because, man, who wouldn't want cookies? Oh, cookies, cookies, cookies. They sell themselves. You guys know you want cookies. You totally want cookies. Cookies are a good thing. Yeah, you too. You want cookies more than you want to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for this channel because you want more of this channel too. Now, I can't tell you what you want, but I can tell you you want Girl Scout cookies because we have the gluten-free. We have like something for everybody who has, cookies. Cookies are Girl Scout. I can't imagine somebody who doesn't like or doesn't eat Girl Scout cookies. That's something I can't perceive. Something I have no way to understand how you would not like Girl Scout cookies. It's just, no, I don't understand. No. Uh, the the possibility that a person exists that doesn't like Girl Scout cookies is real, but the probability makes it feel as if it's impossible that anybody wouldn't like Girl Scout cookies. But yeah, we'll talk more about Girl Scout cookies tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about that. let's see if we can sell those outside the state. Like, because it's online. You can order online and get it shipped. Question is, do we ship outside of the U.S. or do we ship in the U.S.? Because Girl Scout cookies. Ooh la la la. Yeah. But bye. Love you guys. Ugh.